How do I become you?
I think first and most importantly, it's, staying true to ourselves. Each of the bars is different, right? They're different in the way they look and feel, in the way they were designed. But of course, they're different in that the people we hired, like mentioned earlier, are local, and each of these communities are very different. And the people within them are different. And what they're looking for from our bars is very different. And we allow that to happen intentionally. Sometimes it's hard, but the goal is to open in Seattle, which we're doing in a couple of months, hire from Seattle, learn from the local team there on what people are looking for in that market and cater to that too, right? Like not just say, oh, this is the box we live in and this is how we do cocktails and this is our service. And, a really good example and where we learned this lesson on how to just be ourselves within that individual community was in Denver. We had all this incredible talent and everyone knew the New York bar and wanted to be the New York bar. And I mean, from ownership to management to the staff, it was almost like we were trying to recreate New York. What that meant was they were dressed like cocktail bartenders in New York, which even in 2008 might have been, bow ties or suspenders, bolos, like all the things. And in Denver, people are very casual, right? Like it's flannels and jeans and hoodies and athletic wear. So the staff didn't feel themselves. In fact, they didn't look themselves. And we quickly realized it's because we put them in that box. And once we said, okay, well, let's let you wear whatever you sort of want to wear as long as it's professional and fits the mold, it started to look and feel very much like Denver. But what was still true was the cocktails and the guest experience. The space was beautiful, but it became very much Denver. So, I think, coming back to the answer, I think staying really true to yourself within the brand, but allowing flexibility, right? You can't say it's always going to be the same and provide what that consumer in that market is necessarily looking for. And, a lot of brands as they expand, especially into like big chains, they've got all their systems and processes dialed in so much that it's just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And, as we're growing, there's some DNA there, right? Process wise, that is allowing us to do these things faster. But what's most important is we're not trying to copy paste. And if you've been to any of them, you'll see that and feel that. And we hear from our guests a lot, wow, it was so different here or there. And, every guest who's been to all of them has a different favorite and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's really important that you stay true to yourself, build your systems and processes to make it easier. Other than that, allow the flexibility that each store is going to need. When it comes to a separate brand, which I'm sure we'll get to, a whole nother ballgame. It's been a big learning
Right.
experience.